The bells of a bakery clanged, announcing a batch of fresh bread. The voices of actors rang out from the small theater. Hundreds of workshops, thousands of apartments, dozens of languages, ranging from old Earth tongues to the common human, many spoke today across the galaxy. An echo of Earth so far from home. The humans were everywhere. They filled the alleyways. They toiled on rooftop gardens, shooing away birds. They stood on balconies, tending to herbs, hanging laundry and beating rugs. They peered from windows. They haggled in bustling markets. Children jumped from roof to roof, laughing in the streets, and communicated between windows using cups and strings. Palavia Enclave, a hive of stone and squalor, fabric and steel, imprisonment and life. Home. And beyond the enclave walls, a vast forbidden world. The rest of the city. Palavia was a sprawling metropolis, home to 1,000,000 pavans, a race of sentient felines. From here, Ayumi couldn't see much of that forbidden realm. The tops of several towers, the distant palace on a hill. That was all. To her, the rest of Palavia was as unreachable as Earth. Ayumi saw all this within seconds as she leaped out her home window. She had seen this view thousands of times. With a thud, she landed on the roof of a neighboring home. She ran across the adobe tiles, vaulted over an alleyway, and landed on another rooftop. Birds cawed and fled, shedding feathers. Ayumi hopped from roof to roof, waving at her neighbors. A few waved back. Others shook their fists at her, and one mean old woman even pelted her with rubbish, shouting that Ayumi was scaring her plants. Ayumi stuck her tongue out at the hag and kept leaping. As she leaped toward the bakery, she gave a loud whistle. The baker, a portly man with a white mustache, emerged onto the balcony and tossed her a roll. Ayumi caught it in midair and dropped him a seashell. "Konnichiwa, Mr. Hiroji," she said, landing on a library roof, and kept hopping onward. "Arigato gozaimasu." "Slow down, Ayumu-san," the baker cried, pocketing the shell. "One day you're going to fall down and break your knees." "Sayonara, Mr. Hiroji. I'll be careful, I promise." She bounded across several more roofs and finally reached the enclave's outer wall. It soared higher than any rooftop, enclosing the ghetto. But Ayumi knew every brick in this wall like every roof in the enclave. She barely had to think as she climbed, her fingers and toes deftly finding the grooves between the bricks. She scrambled up, then pulled herself onto the top of the wall. For a moment Ayumi stood, looking at the city beyond. She heaved a deep sigh. "Palavia," she whispered. She pulled from her pocket the roll Mr. Hiroji had given her. It was filled with raisins and nuts, still steaming from the oven. Ayumi chewed thoughtfully, walking atop the wall, gazing upon the city beyond. She came here every morning to see Greater Palavia. To dream. Palavia was the largest city on the warm, verdant planet of Paev. Its towers of white limestone scratched the sky. Its marble temple soared, filled with hymns and psalms. Gardens bloomed across the city, lush with trees and flowers, plants Ayumi had never seen up close. The boulevards were wide, filled not with shaggy mulers and creaky carts, but ornate, steam-operated chariots trimmed with gold. Airships floated leisurely above, delivering passengers between the city and provinces. The pavans were a graceful, slender species, bipedal and feline, covered with golden fur. From up here, Ayumi could see several pavans strolling along a boulevard. The men wore fine red coats embellished with golden thread. They sported red top hats, monocles, and ivory canes, and their whiskers were oiled. The females wore gowns in a dizzying array of colors and patterns. Ayumi's own father supplied many of these fabrics, toiling inside the enclave to produce wonderful gowns and coats for the pavans. One of the felines, a guard in a burnished bronze breastplate, stared up from below. "Back into the enclave, pest!" the pavan shouted. "We don't want to see your kind." He raised a crossbow and fired. Ayumi, no stranger to this ritual, leaped aside. The quarrel missed her. "Go play with some yarn, cat." She blew him a raspberry, then hopped back into the enclave. She landed on another roof. She heaved another sigh. How often she had wished to explore that realm beyond. There was an entire city out there, not just the enclave, this small walled-off neighborhood, but an entire city of 1,000,000 souls, neighborhood after neighborhood of wonder spreading toward the horizon.